All right, we are going to move from expressions to equations today. We're going to work on review solving two-step equations. Make sure you have your notebook ready so you can take notes, please. Okay, two-step equations. What do I mean by that? They include two operations. One of them is addition or subtraction, and the second is either multiplication or division. So I've given you two examples. All right, 2x means multiply, that's addition, and x over 2 is division and subtraction. All right, and with expressions, we evaluated them. When we do equations, we solve them, and what that means is we find out the value of the variable. In this case, x. We decide what x is, and that's called our solution. Okay, three important reminders I hope you remember. First, we solve equations by using inverse operations, and that means opposite. So the opposite of addition is subtraction. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. And that's how we solve our equations. Always, because it's an equation, we do the same thing to both sides of the equation. And then the great thing about algebra is you can always check your solution by substituting it back into the original equation. Okay, really important reminders. Okay, let's try one. Okay, and I've got 4x, 4 times x plus 10 equals 50. So it includes multiplication and addition. And what we always try to do is undo or reverse the addition or subtraction first. So I'm going to do that by doing the opposite. So instead of plus 10, my first step is going to be to subtract 10. Remember, from both sides of the equation. And that leaves me with 4x plus 10 minus 10 cancels out, equals 50 minus 10 is 40. Okay, and then I undo, in this case, the multiplication. Opposite is division, and I'm going to show it this way. I'm going to divide by 4 because that's the coefficient. I have to do the same thing on the other side. Well, 4 divided by 4 is 1, so that leaves me with x. 1x is x, equals 40 divided by 4 is 10. Okay, that's my solution. Now I want to check it, so I'm going to substitute 10. 4 times 10 plus 10, the original equation, equals 50. 4 times 10 is 40, plus 10 is indeed 50. And that solution looks to be correct. Okay? All right, let's try one with division instead of multiplication. X over 2 is a division problem. But the first thing I'm going to do is undo, in this case, my subtraction. So the opposite of subtracting 15 is adding 15. And I need to do that to both sides of my equation. All right, minus 15 plus 15, that's going to cancel out. So I'm going to bring down my x divided by 2 equals 15 plus 5 is 20. All right, now I'm going to undo the division by multiplying, and I'm going to show it this way. 2 over 1 times x over 2. I'm multiplying by 2, and I have to do I have to do the same thing over here. 20 times 2. All right, well, these cancel out, and I'm left with x, which is what I want. Isolate that variable, is equal to 20 times 2 is 40. That's my solution. Let's see if we got it right. I'm going to substitute it back in. 40 divided by 2, the original equation, minus 15 equals 5. Well, 40 divided by 2 is 20. 20 minus 15 equals 5, and I think that is a true statement. So that one looks like it is correct. Okay? All right. Okay, let's do one with decimals just because sometimes those prove to be, I don't know, a little intimidating. In this case, I have multiplication and subtraction. So I'm still going to follow the same steps. I'm going to undo my subtraction by adding the inverse. I'm going to add 4.25 to both sides. That's going to allow me to cancel these out. And I'm going to bring down 2.5 times x equals 13.75 plus 4.25 is 18.00, or just 18. All right, now I need to undo that multiplication by dividing. Okay, I'm going to divide both sides by 2.5. All right. Well, 2.5 divided by itself leaves me with 1, or 1x. All right. And 18 divided by 2.5 leaves me with 7.2. And there's my solution. But I always should check it to make sure it's okay. So I'm going to substitute it back in. 2.5 times, I'm going to use that symbol this time, 7.2 minus 4.25, all these decimals, equals 13.75. I want to make sure that that is true. I have to use order of operations. So 2.5 times 7.2 gives me 18. And then 18 minus 4.25 does give me 13.75. So I checked that one. It looks to be okay. All right? Okay. Let's see how you guys do. Okay, pause your video and try this one on your paper. Follow the steps I gave you on the left side of the screen, and then come back and check your solution. Okay, here we go. I added 12 to both sides, and then I divided both sides by 6. I came out with x equals 12. That is my solution. X equals 12. I substituted it back in and checked it to make sure that it was okay. All right. All right, let's have you try one more with division. So pause your video, try this one, and then come back and see if you got it correct. All right, here we go. First step was to subtract 5 from both sides, and then multiply both sides by 3, and that gave me x equals 72. And then I check it by putting 72 back in place of x. 24 plus 5 is equal to 29. If you did not get that, please stop your video recording and look at it, and please figure out what you did wrong, okay? All right, make sure you don't forget to complete the questions and submit the Google form for your classwork participation grade. We will work on these in our Google Meet, and tomorrow I'm going to give you plenty of practice problems to do. For today, please just fill out your Google form. All right, thank you.